I am thrilled to be back with all of my friends in the great state of West Virginia. Thank you.
On Tuesday, President Trump did one of his favorite things, standing in front of a crowd in coal country. More specifically, his administration unveiled its replacement for President Obama's Clean Power Plan, which it named the Affordable Clean Energy, or ACE, rule. And Trump timed the announcement with a visit to West Virginia, which makes sense. The state is both the second largest coal producer in the country and the third largest emitter of CO2 per person. This rule change stands out, though, because it deviates from the Trump deregulation playbook. The administration is replacing a rule instead of rolling it back. That's because the government can't always do exactly what it wants. A landmark 2007 Supreme Court decision requires the EPA to regulate greenhouse gas emissions. Under the Clean Power Plan, the Obama administration promised to do that by reducing carbon emissions from power plants by 32%. The Obama rule was finalized in 2015. But because lawsuits tied it up in court, lots of energy companies waited to see what would happen. So, coal-fired power plants stayed dirty, and the rule didn't have an impact. That said, emissions still dropped because the market moved away from coal on its own. Now, that same ruling from 2007 is forcing the Trump administration to come up with a substitute plan. Instead of shooting for the stars, though, the ACE rule proposes to reduce emissions by 33% below 2005 levels by the year 2030, something that we're basically already on track to do. And whereas the Clean Power Plan would have given utilities the option to reduce emissions through carbon offsets and renewable energy, the ACE plan only addresses existing power plants, asking them to use a range of new technologies to increase efficiency.
Ironically, many of the utility companies have been doing a tremendous amount to modernize their portfolio and to make it cleaner, in part because they know they can burn natural gas today more cheaply than coal. This is a relatively ineffective, symbolic attempt by the administration to satisfy the court's requirement that EPA control carbon emissions from power plants.
The Trump administration might, and I mean might, be able to tap the brakes on coal's decline. And that would have a negative impact on the health of people who live around coal plants. But ultimately, the administration's actions are unlikely to stop the shift away from coal-fired power. What Trump's announcement will do, though, is provide talking points that will help the president and his allies claim during the midterms that they've done everything they can to save coal.
We're winning again. We're winning again.